evening, everybody. It's Scott with Merriman's Altra Supplies. Tonight, as you can see behind me, I got a bunch of stuff in for the business. Still clearing my throat out, but I got an order for some Ultra A.R.C.O.S 166’s limiteds, 350 spine. They're going to be 28-inch long. So I've already cut them, and now I'm going to just go through the steps. I'm going to use my G5 squaring tool, and all I do is just take it and put it right on here and just spin it. And what I do is I put silver marquee. I don't know if you can see it, but there's silver marker right on it. On the end, you can barely see it, but that way when I get done, I know that it's square on the end, kind of like when you use a knife. And it's all clear. So I'll go through and do all those, and then we'll check back. All right, after they're all squared up, I like to take and mix some Max Clean from Arizona Archery Enterprises. You mix a little bit of this, just a capful, in some water, and I just got an empty bottle of old rubbing alcohol, and then I just dip it in, put them in here, and then slosh them around a little bit. Once I get it sloshed around and banged around so all the carbon dust is gone. I know you can use acetone, but this works really good. And then I go rinse it off. All right, now that they're all cleaned and rinsed off, what I do is I take a Q-tip and I just put it in the end and get the rest of the carbon out of there, the carbon dust. Because when I go to put the inserts in, I want the inserts to be clean. So I'm going to run through this real quick, and we'll continue on with gluing in inserts, going over the A.R.C.O.S. All right. Now the fun part, A.R.C.O.S system. So it consists of an insert and then the outsert. So what A.R.C.O.S stands for is Ultra Reinforced Concentric Outsert System. So basically, this insert has an O-ring, a rubber O-ring on it. And then this gets glued inside the arrow shaft. And then the outsert goes over, but because that O-ring, it keeps it tight. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but there's threads on it. So the outsert screws actually onto the insert, and there it is. So basically a 1/2 inch, 3/8 to a 1/2 inch is covering the end of the shaft of the arrow. What I like to do, because a lot of times people get them and the biggest complaint is that, you know, they don't always fit perfect. Well, you want them to be a little snug. So what I like to do is I like to take my arrow shafts, I go ahead and assemble the A.R.C.O.S, and then what I do is I put it in as a unit, and then I see if it goes all the way in and bottoms out. It bottoms out. Now it's tight. That's what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing these in, and I'll come back while I'm doing that. Okay, so real easy. I just like to use, all I got is some Gorilla Super Glue. I guess you can use insert glue. I do have some A8 or Arizona Archery Enterprises insert glue. I just take a little bit. It doesn't take much to hold this in. I put it on the very end where it's knurled. And then I just take a Q-tip and I just kind of spread it on there. And then once I get it on there, and as I put it in, kind of hard to do this while watching the camera, and I twist at the same time. Once it's on, then I take the little napkin and I clean up the excess off the edge. And while I'm doing that, I'm making sure that it's fully seated on that square edge, and that it did. So now all I do is I just set it off to the side and let it dry. Nice thing about these, they already came pre-fletched with the Ultra branded Q2Is wrapped X. I've had good luck with these so far. As you can see that they're pliable, but they go right back. And they're pliable, but they're stiff at the same time. And then on top of it, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a ever so slight right offset, just ever so slight. Flies really good. I've been having good luck with it. All right, now I'm gonna go and continue doing it with the rest, inserting the rest of them, and I'll get back to you. All righty, now that those inserts are glued on, and I make sure they're all totally flush, you take the Outsert, put it on, screw it tight. If you want, you add a little blue Loctite, but I haven't had one come off yet. Now, to finish this off, this total arrow build is the Ultra A.R.C.O.S field tips. These are 100 grain field points, and they're precision machined from hardened 416 stainless steel. So it gives you consistency, the durability, and proper fit for the Ultra A.R.C.O.S. The nice thing about these is they got an O-ring on them. I don't know if you can see that, but there's an O-ring, black O-ring on there. Helps keep it concentric and keep it tight on there. I don't know if you guys had that happen before, but you go and you have your field tips. Oh yeah, your field tips end up loosening up and you got to constantly tighten them. Well, that O-ring definitely helps. So, pre-fletched Ultra A.R.C.O.S Centrum Limited 166’s, 350 spine, 28 inch with the field point, A.R.C.O.S system, complete. I'll just get to doing the rest of them and get this to the happy customer. So if you're interested in them, just let me know. Send me a message, leave a comment, and I'll reach out to you. This is an ultimate system. The nice thing about the Ultra A.R.C.O.S, no spine technology, which makes it really nice. Because with that consistency of no spine, there's no stiff part of the arrow shaft. So when it comes to actually tuning your bow to the arrow, it's much easier. You don't have to worry about knock tuning it by twisting the knock. I've tried it, I've done it, and I have not seen any difference. And the nice thing about the unlimited or the limiteds, these are 9.4 grains per inch. So that, and they're up to 3/1000 straightness. So they can be straighter, or maximum out of straightness would be 3/1000 of an inch. But the next step, when I come back, we're gonna go ahead and weigh them and then spin test them. All right, here we go on my spin tester. Spins pretty good there. That one spins good. Next. Look at that. Look at this end.
this is the limiteds. These are up to 3,000ths. That spins really good. Oh, they're spinning pretty straight. They all spin really straight. Now, let's skip.
Go out. See what these things weigh. That didn't work out so well. $438.3.
437.1. 436.6. 435. 436. Oh, that's nice. 436.
So 2 grain difference from the most to the least. All right, I hope you like that. That's informative for you. And again, like I said, I got some of my CBE stuff up here. I got some Slick Trick broadheads. I got the Assailant, the Torch, and the SS3. If you're interested, I got a couple Scott releases. And then we got 204s, 350 spine and 400 spine, and then 12 arrow shafts and 350 and 400s, and then I got individuals here. Not to mention we do have more of the field points, 100 grainers, and then we got the insert and outserts. So if you're interested, just let me know, and like I said, we'll arrange to figure it out. If you found this informative, please hit the share, comment, like it, subscribe to it if you want to keep doing it. Let me know in comments what you want to see in the future. All right? Have a good one.